For the first time, deep in an American forest, Bigfoot was caught on camera, a sight so terrifying it sent chills down everyone's spine. Rumor has it, after this encounter, the president either vowed to capture it or left it alone out of pure fear. But the real question is, what did Bigfoot do to the humans that night? To know the truth, you have to see this.
In the quiet wilderness of the Pacific Northwest, where mist curls around towering pines and the sound of rushing creeks is the only heartbeat of the forest, a story has been whispered for decades, one that locals speak of with the kind of nervous laughter that hides real fear. I was there last fall, hiking deep along an old logging trail, miles from any sign of civilization, when I first sensed something was wrong. The air felt heavier, as if the trees themselves were holding their breath, and the forest, usually alive with the chatter of birds, had fallen silent. Then, from somewhere beyond the fog, came a low, guttural growl, too deep to be a bear, too long to be a wolf. My skin prickled. Through the shifting veil of mist, I caught sight of something massive moving between the trunks, its silhouette hunched, covered in matted hair, easily 8 feet tall. My rational mind fought to dismiss it as a shadow, a trick of the fog, but my heart pounded with an ancient instinct. I was being watched. Each step I took seemed mirrored by a heavier, deliberate step behind me. I turned sharply, catching a glimpse of amber eyes reflecting dim light, unblinking, intelligent, and uncomfortably human.
Fear clawed at my chest, but curiosity rooted me in place. Slowly, it stepped forward, its face half hidden by hair, its breath visible in the cold air. The stench hit me first, thick and musky like wet earth and rotting leaves. My legs screamed to run, but something in its gaze held me still. It wasn't attacking. It was studying me, as though deciding whether I was a threat. Then, with an almost human sigh, it turned away, disappearing back into the mist as silently as it had come. I stood there, heart racing, realizing I had just witnessed something most people will never believe. But here's the thing. Later that night, while camping, I found deep footprints outside my tent, far too large for any man. And when I followed them at dawn, they led to the edge of a cliff and simply stopped. No way down, no broken branches, nothing, just empty air, as if the creature had stepped off the earth itself. That's when I knew Bigfoot isn't just a legend here. It's something ancient, something watching, waiting, and perhaps deciding when we finally deserve to know the truth. They say the forests of the Pacific Northwest hold more than just deer trails and logging roads, that under the dripping canopy of cedar and pine, something older than history still walks, leaving only whispers and shadows behind. I never believed it. Not until last October, when I set out alone on a photography trip, deep into an area so remote, my GPS died halfway there, and the silence became so complete it felt alive. The air was heavy with the scent of wet earth, and the mist hung low, coiling between the trunks like slow-moving ghosts. And then I felt it. That sensation you can't explain, but your body understands. The certainty that eyes are on you. At first it was just faint movement in my peripheral vision, like a figure keeping pace among the trees. But when I stopped, it stopped. And when I walked, it followed. Its presence measured and deliberate. My heart thudded hard enough to drown out the crunch of leaves underfoot. And then, through a gap in the fog, I saw it, towering at least 8 feet, covered in thick, matted hair the color of midnight, shoulders broad enough to blot out the trees behind it, and eyes that glowed a deep amber, fixed on me with a strange, almost human intensity. For a long, terrible moment, we just stared at each other, and I could hear its breathing, slow, steady, and impossibly strong, carrying across the still air. I should have run, but something in its gaze held me, as if it was weighing my worth, deciding if I belonged here. Without warning, it turned and walked away, disappearing into the mist with steps so silent, it was as if the earth itself swallowed the sound. That night, while camped on a ridge, I heard distant, echoing knocks, 3 in a row, like wood on wood, and later found massive footprints circling my tent, each one sunk deep into the soil, larger than any man's. I followed them at dawn, and they led me to the edge of a sheer cliff where they simply stopped. No broken branches, no way down, nothing but open air. Standing there, wind pointing my face, I realized this wasn't an animal that could be tracked, trapped, or explained. This was something ancient, intelligent, and watching, and I had been allowed just for a moment to stand inside its world, a world most will never believe exists.